All right. Okay. Uh, yeah, we're going to talk about basically all the things you do to conclude a graduate degree at URI, especially writing the thesis or dissertation. I want to thank everyone for being here. Everyone attending should trim about 5 or 10 minutes off of the work that we all have to do in getting things straightened out. Uh, we're going to have three presenters. I'll be the last one. First, we'll have Anne Marie from the Graduate Writing Center. When I first learned about the Graduate Writing Center, I figured they would do, proofreading and line editing. But no, their goal is much more robust than that. They're going to turn the students into better writers, which is a far more robust product. And Eric Beretta will give us some uh, talk on all the paperwork you have to do to actually conclude the degree, the proposals and everything else, nominations for graduation. I guess we can start with Anne Marie now.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anne Marie DeMichael. I'm one of the coordinators at the Graduate Writing Center here at URI. I'm going to share my screen and share with you just a little bit of information about the Writing Center itself. Can someone just give me a thumbs up that you can see what I'm sharing? Awesome, thank you. All right, so as we're thinking about the process of crafting a thesis or dissertation and making sure that it adheres to the graduate school's requirements, we're also thinking about the process of actually writing the thesis or dissertation. And that's where the Writing Center can hopefully really help you with the work that you're doing. So we offer a few different services at the Graduate Writing Center. We have one-off workshops and events. We have recurring writing accountability hours and writing programs for specific applications that you might be filling out or just for your own writing projects. The biggest thing that we're known for and that we do the most of is one-on-one writing appointments. You would make an appointment with us. I'll show you how to do that. And you would meet with one of our peer writing tutors. So we are all graduate students here at URI as well. Some of us are actively going through the thesis or dissertation process. Some of us are in coursework. So wherever you are in your process, there's someone at the Writing Center who has done the same thing or is doing it right then and can help you go through that process as well. So here's the kind of work that we do at the Writing Center, and pardon the fuzziness of the presentation, it'll clear in just a second. So we help with theses and dissertations, class projects or papers. So if you are in coursework and you're working on a seminar paper, we can assist with that. CVs and resumes, any kind of job docs, we can help you with any of those. We can also recommend resources if you're working on a cover letter with us, but you want information about a different kind of cover letter or a different kind of statement. We can share resources as well. On presentation content or conference practice. So you could also practice your dissertation defense or a conference paper with us at the Writing Center. We offer, as I said, writing groups, some of them that have sort of a theme or a goal, some of them that are just bring your own writing and do it together. We offer workshops on citation software, writing outlines, grammar for academic writing, teaching philosophy statements, all those kinds of things. And I will show you at the end of this presentation what we still have coming up for this semester. All right, so what to expect. When you come visit us at the Writing Center, we're really going to focus on higher order concerns. So that's on the left side of the screen. And that would include the thesis of your paper, the audience, the purpose, the organization. That's especially important for something like a thesis or a dissertation where it's a big paper. Sometimes it's easy to get lost among the chapters and to lose the thread of your central thesis or argument. We can help you make sure that across all of the chapters, all of the things that you're doing, you're still staying true to that original goal or thesis. We will help with brainstorming, drafting, reviewing, revising. So really any stage of the writing process. You maybe just have an idea that you're starting with, or you might have a completed product that you're trying to polish up. Either way, we can help you. As Al said, what we don't do is line edit or proofread. So we are not editors for your paper. You are ultimately the author of your paper. You are responsible for the language itself, but we will sit with you and make sure that your language is clear. So if we're reading through a chapter of your dissertation and we find that we can't follow the argument because the language isn't clear, we'll talk with you about that. We'll brainstorm some ways to improve that work. If what you are looking for is a line editor, we can share with you a list of available people. All right, so here's our staff. We have a great team of people. We have folks working in the humanities, in STEM, everywhere in between. So whatever field you are in, you can find someone who's in that same field at the Writing Center, or you can find someone from a different field who can maybe give you a different perspective on your writing than what you can get from your own committee members. Okay. All right, so we offer in-person and online appointments. These are the locations that we have this semester. We're on the Kingston campus, and we have 2 locations on the Bay campus. We do synchronous appointments, so either you're meeting with us on one of the campuses in the room together, or you're on a Zoom meeting, or on our platform that we use. In addition to that, we have regular accountability hours. I'll show those to you in just a moment as well. So I'm not going to walk you through every single step of the making an appointment process, but I will make sure that you have these slides available so that you can see how that process works. But for now, I'll say that you'll go to the link on the upper left-hand side of this slide, mywco.com. You'll see our schedule there. You'll be able to choose the modality of your appointment, what day, what time, all of those things, and you can schedule a time to meet with us. Make sure that when you're making those appointments, you know whether you want in person, online, who you're meeting with, what time, just to be sure that you get to the right place at the right time. Nothing gets lost in the equation. If you ever are uncertain about how to make an appointment or whether your appointment is in person or online, you can always send us an email. I'll make sure that you have our contact info at the GWC. It's very easy for us to just go in and say, oh yes, you have an online appointment on this day, or to correct something if it's not right. All right, and how to prepare for your appointments. So let's say you have your dissertation that you're working on. Make sure you know what the goal that you have for that day is. Do you want to go over a particular chapter and just make sure that everything sounds nice and neat? Do you want to switch around some paragraphs? Do you have just a rough idea of what that chapter should include, and you really need to do a lot of heavy lifting with us that day? All of those are fine. Just make sure you come to us with an understanding of what you were trying to do that day. Have a copy of your work in whatever format you have it, and just be ready to share it with us. And finally, these are the events that we have remaining for this semester. We are in the latter half of the spring semester, so many of our individual workshops have taken place already. We are always taking suggestions for future events though, so if there's something that you want to know about from the Writing Center, let us know, and either we have a workshop ready to go, or we'll prepare one and we will offer it. What we still have this semester are some more writing accountability hours. That's at the top row here. The main campus and the Bay campus, Mondays 1 to 3 and 10 to 12. And we can, if you have more questions about those, please feel free to ask. But that's it. That's all I have to share with you. I just do want to reiterate that at any stage of the dissertation or thesis writing process, we can help you along the way. Really, the only thing we don't help with at the URI level is comprehensive exams. But once you've completed those and are working on your big paper, we're ready to help you with it. All right, are there any questions?
Okay, if any questions occur to you, she'll be available on chat. Thank you very much. Eric, you want to go ahead now?
Sure. Just sharing my screen. Hi, everyone. So I'm Eric Beretta. That is not the screen I wanted to share. I don't believe. Let's see. Let's get that correct. Okay, perfect. You guys don't need to see my email. So I'm Eric Beretta. I work with the graduate school, and I am a enrollment services officer there. We have 3 people on our team that you guys will work directly with. Stacy Carrasco, Jeffrey Chen, and myself. We handle everything past the admissions process. So all the forms that you need to submit through Adobe, whether you have any issues with those, we're happy to help. Your comprehensive exam, scheduling those, your proposal phase, we're able to assist you with that. And anything in between, preparing you for graduation. I want to start with a couple quick resources that are really going to be the foundation for a successful career here at URI. The graduate school academic calendar. You should really familiarize yourself with this. It is set several years out in advance. I believe right now you can view through 2026. So there shouldn't be any major surprises if you are using this resource. I recommend that everybody check it, each semester or every other semester. If you're good with dates and move some of those into your own calendar, I think that's a great idea to make sure that you don't get surprised as you're approaching graduation or the dissertation phase. Another great resource is our Adobe Forms system. We feel it's a huge improvement over the last one. And all of our forms here at the graduate level are online now in that system. So it's one-stop shopping at our grad forms website, which is linked right there. One major advantage to this system is that students are able to track their own forms if they make an account. So I highly recommend that you do so. We have a user guide posted to the top of our grad forms page that will run you through that process of making an account and any other issues you may have while you're in forms. It'll show you how to fill out a form properly, how to add your approvers properly, and how to track. So I highly recommend doing that sooner rather than later. Any forms that you submit prior to creating an account will not be tracked. They won't be lost. You just won't be able to see the progression of them. The academic catalog is a great resource for students that will list every single course offered at URI and the requirements for that course. It'll also list every program and the requirements for that program. So you want to reference that as you're moving through your program to make sure that you're meeting all the requirements. The graduate school manual is quite a large document, so we don't expect you to have read it all, but it is broken down into quick sections. So if you ever get a policy question or a procedure question, it's always a good idea to check the manual. Odds are it is there, whether it's how to structure a committee, transfer credit issues, things like that. It does help guide you through the program pretty well. Program of study, this is the first and one of the more important forms that we offer. Every student here at URI does need to submit a program of study to the graduate school. This is different from what a lot of students consider a program plan that they've worked out with their major professor of their program. The program of study is a formal document that you submit to the graduate school online through our Adobe system, and it will include all of the courses that you are going to use in order to achieve your degree. So that will be courses that you've already completed and future courses that you haven't yet enrolled in. Rough estimates for a timeline for this form is your third semester as a full-time student, your fourth semester as a part-time student. There can be some variation there depending on the program and how much change you're expecting to see. Anytime you do need to submit a change, unfortunately, it's not editable. It does require a revised or new copy with those changes in it. I want to bring your attention quickly to a 30 credit cap. If you have a master's degree previously before entering the PhD program, in conjunction with your program, you can decide to use up to 30 credits of that master's degree towards your PhD program of study. There's a separate section on the form for that reason, so take a look at that. Substitutions and waivers should all be noted on your form. Again, if you're working in the academic catalog and you see a requirement and you're personally not taking it because you've worked with your major professor to fulfill that requirement elsewhere, please make a note. You do have a note section. Your major professor is also responsible for checking those and noting them as well. 400 level courses can be listed in the academic catalog not for graduate credit. That's a program-based decision, whether they feel that it's appropriate to be used for graduate credit or not. It's always a great idea if you're taking a course at the 400 level, just take a quick look in the academic catalog and you're looking for not for graduate credit. So you want to make sure that it doesn't have that listed. Committees can be quite confusing, so I'm really going to try and simplify this for you. Let me know if you have any questions. What you're going to do for your thesis or dissertation is set up your core committee. This is a minimum of 3 faculty members, your major professor, your inside member, so that's someone from inside your program, and your outside member, someone from outside your program. You can include up to 2 additional members if you would like. Those are again going to be counted as part of your core committee if you do so. All of these individuals must have graduate faculty status here at URI, and you will establish this committee with our establishment of committee form in Adobe. Outside of your core committee, there are going to be two other individuals involved in your dissertation and thesis process. Your defense chair for your final defense and your oral comps exam additional member. These both are one-time roles and must be in addition to your core committee. They cannot be someone that is in your core committee, even if they're one of those additional members that you may or may not have included in your core committee. And they should not be listed on your establishment of committee as they are extra. These individuals must be URI faculty outside of the student's department and have graduate faculty status. These individuals cannot be external for the university. Graduate faculty status, again, needs to be everyone that's involved in your committee needs to have graduate faculty status here at URI. And we have a list online linked here. You can check to make sure everybody on your committee has that. The graduate faculty status list is broken up by college, so it's pretty easy to search. External faculty can serve on committees. They can serve as co-major professor, outside committee member, or one of your additional committee members. They also have to have graduate faculty status here at URI. Graduate faculty status means that your program has nominated them for that status and has reviewed their eligibility and confirmed that. The associate dean here at the graduate school will also review. Each doctoral student will complete a written and oral comprehensive exam. They go in that order. You will complete them at or just after the completion of all your formal coursework before you get into just dissertation. These exams assess the students' training thus far and confirm that you are ready to move into formal research. You'll schedule those. I'm sorry, I'm going backwards here. You'll schedule those exams in conjunction with your major professor and submit our written and oral doctoral comprehensive exam scheduling form, again, through Adobe. We'll review that just to make sure that it's in line with your current program and to ensure that your oral exam additional member who you'll identify on that scheduling form is appropriate. For your thesis and dissertation proposal, your establishment of committee to establish your core committee it needs to already be on file before you submit this form to the graduate school. Your core committee is who will approve that form. So it's very helpful for the graduate school. If we don't have an establishment of committee, it's hard for us to determine if the proper people have signed. It'll be signed by your core committee, yourself, your program director or chair, and the Research Integrity Office. Now that we're in the Adobe system, the proposal approval form has officially moved into that system, which is great. It requires a lot of signatures, so the PDF version was quite cumbersome for everyone to deal with. I do believe it's much better in Adobe and travels through that signature process a lot faster. So that is great. Again, with Adobe, one of the extra features is that you can upload your proposal and your research integrity documentation right there into Adobe so that it travels with the form and everyone's able to receive it that way. Your thesis and dissertation defense setup. This again is where one of your additional members is going to be involved, your defense chair. They have to be outside of your program and outside of your established committee. The role of the defense chair is to be an impartial member to ensure that you have a fair and smooth process and follow all of the URI's procedures. You'll submit a request to schedule of the oral defense form, again, through Adobe, and it will be signed by your core committee, defense chair, yourself, and the department chair. When you submit this form, you have to be sure that you do have the defense date, time, and location already set so that we are able to properly approve it. it's the student's responsibility that when you're submitting this form, that you are going to distribute your defendable copy to your committee at least 20 calendar days prior to your defense. The faculty will select whether they would prefer it electronic or paper. You know, in most cases, it's electronic for ease of use. You do not need to submit this defendable copy to the graduate school, just to your committee. Will receive your final copy. If you have any questions, our team is always able to be reached at gradforms at etal.uri.edu. We'll help you, you know, with anything we can that's not necessarily program related. So reach out to us whenever you need. We of course all have phone numbers listed online, and we are located in 204 in Quinn Hall, right across from the Memorial Union. We're happy to help you in person as well. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them now. I'll stick on this call for the rest of the time if you want to send something over in chat as well.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Yeah, we can start in now. I'll try to share a screen. And I think I'm sharing my remote screen. I have a two-headed monster here, so I'll be looking to the left. Okay, I think I'm sharing now. Okay. Yeah, during COVID, we decided to record my my presentation, and I split it into two parts. The first part we'll do today is on the procedure, just the steps in the online work on how you get your thesis published. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, there are two different tracks. Basically, your thesis has to be approved by your committee and by me. I rule on the format. It begins when you upload your document to that website, where we'll do all our communication, where the format will be reviewed. Be sure to complete the submission. Every now and then I get an email that says, I uploaded my thesis 3 weeks ago. How long does this take? And what happened was they did not complete the submission and it never showed up in my work queue. Incorporate my comments and let me know by email when and if the final version is actually online. Basically, the version that has your committee's comments and my comments incorporated. There are two different tracks. Okay, first you can defend, then I can do all the format, and then everything's done. Or what I prefer is you do the formatting first, then your committee will see a much prettier document in most cases, with all the margins and page numbers right and all that stuff. And then I'll just do a format check at the end. It's not a big problem. The online account has to be left in minor revisions required or reset to that state. And it's not a big deal. Just send me an email and it's like 2 mouse clicks for me. Formatting is an iterative process. It's finished when the manuscript is accepted online. That's a specialized word here, accepted. Nothing will be finalized at the ETD admin site until a final submission email is received by the graduate school. That's the email that says, yes, everything is online. The final version is online. At that time, the manuscript will be delivered to ProQuest. If more comments need to be incorporated after the manuscript is accepted, the status can be walked back, minor revisions required, so that the comments can be incorporated. This happens a lot. Can you make changes after the work has been delivered to ProQuest? Many students requested changes after the work had been delivered. Some of the requests could be accommodated, but it was very problematic. Basically, I have to rush, send an email to ETD admin support, and they will pull that document from the publication stream, and we can start from the beginning. They've been very good about this, but it's kind of a special thing. We decided to delay delivery until long after the semester had ended, about 30 days. This allowed everyone to make last-minute changes. It was getting bad. Every semester there would be like 3 or 4 people who would find a typo or something that their committee chairman or their major professor wanted to change it to last minute. But anyway, we have a workaround now. If the changes have to be made after publication, there is a process. The student will have to pay a small fee. The last time I looked, it was about $46. It's not a game breaker. Permission is required from the graduate school. Decisions are made on a case-by-case basis. With the new management, the two new deans, they're very open to changes, but it's nothing to worry about. So summarized here, formatting is iterative. Document is accepted. It's delivered to ProQuest that's week after the end of the semester, and then it's published. After delivery, revisions are difficult, require instant response. After it's published, it is possible, but it'll cost you money and you have to contact the dean. So that's basically the stream between submitting it online and seeing it published. You'll be asked 3 questions during the online submission process. What is your name? That's easy enough. What is your quest? That's your degree program, probably most cases. And yeah, wait a minute. Okay, this is the one I wanted. Let me see. You want to register the copyright. This is the first question. You own the copyright. You may want ProQuest to register it to establish precedence of the work. Julia Lovett at the library is the expert on these things and says there is really no reason to register the copyright. You want to embargo the work. If your work is proprietary, this happens a lot in pharmacy. You may want to embargo it until the patent or other protection can be secured. Also some publications will not accept work which is available online. And Julia says this doesn't happen very often anymore because everything's online. Do you want to select traditional or open access at ProQuest? This is one of the questions ProQuest will ask you. Traditional publication from ProQuest is free, and you will get open access for free by way of the URI institutional repository. So there is absolutely no reason to get open access from ProQuest. And ask your major professor for advice, especially about embargoing. In all likelihood, they are stakeholders in the work. You receive a checklist when the final version of your document is accepted. The checklist will direct you to a digitally signable approval pages and digitally signable library rights statements. Eric told you all about that. Basically, get them signed by the appropriate people. And yeah, send me an email. This is the final submission email saying that it's with your student ID and a short title, the formal statement that your work is finished. The dreaded short title must be 40 characters or less, including spaces and punctuation. It will appear in the commencement program. About 25% of my emails in the last 2 weeks of the semester deal with short titles. Yeah, they have to be 40 characters or less. They have to make sense. One person just abbreviated every word in the title, and it made no sense whatsoever, and we worked around that. What else? And I need to enter the short title in the milestone. Additional documents for dissertations. This is the only one these days. The Survey of Earned Doctorates is a survey of all doctorates issued in the United States, and they do a fantastic job, all sorts of statistics on, the smart people. Will be informed when you complete your survey. And also, SED sends me emails and various things where I can prompt you people if you neglect the survey. So please do it right away. It'll save everyone a lot of time. URI graduate online resources. Yeah, the URI graduate school. I think Eric may have told you about some of these. This one tells you about the checklists and instructions, defense instructions, formatting guidelines, and advanced word thesis template. And I think this is the site that Eric may have mentioned, where you get the digitally signable library rights statements, sample title pages, and sample approval pages. Okay, the electrical engineering department put together a LaTeX template for scientific theses and dissertations. LaTeX, spelled latex, is a formatting language where you type in raw text and you get elegantly formatted tables and equations. It's used for mathematics. When I was a math major, I had to use it to do homework. But some engineers use it also. There's a ProQuest. That's where we'll do all our communications and survey burn doctorates. And Monty Python reference, the person responsible for those slides has been sacked. And with this, we can move on to, where are we? The other slideshow. Okay, this was the second part. Okay, this is the nuts and bolts of actually formatting the document. Oops. Why is it important? Your thesis is going to represent you for the rest of your life. It will also represent URI. Part of my focus is I want your grandchildren to be proud of it when they find it in the library. Formatting thesis is an important element in the presentation of research. Just because you can do the laboratory work, run the surveys, do the clinical work, whatever it is, that does not make you a complete researcher until you can present your work in writing. So fighting with the word processor and winning is kind of a collateral skill, something you're supposed to pick up along the way. And we are a resource. We're not a gatekeeper. Some people think, you know, I'm going to keep you from graduating because you can't get the Margis. No, Margis, right? No. Let me see. In fall 2015, someone went through all the theses and dissertations with a fine-tooth comb and a good eye for grammar, and found 1/5 had grammar errors in the acknowledgement section. 1 out of 20 had unexplained acronyms in their titles. That's a no-no. Any abbreviation you put in the title should be a well-known acronym and not some very esoteric abbreviation. 1 had a misspelled title. Once I discovered that there were misspelled titles running around, I found 2 or 3 more. And I also found an instance where a student misspelled his own name on the title page, and we caught that. Correct grammar and spelling is primarily the responsibility of the author, assisted by the major professor in the committee. The errors will haunt you for the rest of your life. And the frequency they showed up back in 2015, it's not a good reflection on the university. Possible correction action, you can hire a proofreader, and the Graduate Writing Center will help pair you up with a good proofreader. And yeah, contact the Graduate Writing Center, and they'll help you quite a bit with the actual writing. We have 2 different formats, manuscript format and standard format. Manuscript format is allowed basically because people are writing or publishing works and then repurposing them as a thesis or a dissertation. And we feel there's no reason to have them reformat the whole thing. So basically you can do you cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, and you're done. Yeah, almost. The preface should indicate that manuscript format is in use. Each manuscript should be preceded by a page indicating the manuscript's publication status. Basically, this can be, it's formatted for a specific publication, all the way up to it's been published by a publication. The important part is to identify a specific publication for which the manuscript is formatted. Each manuscript is like a mini thesis. It has its own abstract and references and everything. The main abstract should summarize the entire body of work, all the publications included. Graduate school does not require a bibliography in manuscript format. Special warning, this happened a couple semesters ago. Someone wanted to use manuscript format. She was a contributing author and she only had access to the PDF files. As we all know, no, you cannot edit a PDF file. So she wanted to take the page numbers off and do some other things and couldn't do it. So we're warning people now, if you're using manuscript format, retain access to the original doc or docx files, which you can edit. You'll probably need to make minor edits. You can't do this from a PDF file. If you are not the corresponding author, at least retain read-only access to those files. Standard format. This is just a plain vanilla format. It's supposed to be cold and academic. One font throughout. Appendices are discouraged. There are exceptions. I'm an old coder myself. Putting code in as an appendix is fine with me. And if you do put in source code, you can include it as a supplementary file, and it'll be more useful to the reader. Bibliography is required. Okay, here we go. Preliminary material. The title page and approval page, the online version, the PDF version that you put online, has the type names, and a digitally signed version will be supplied by a different route entirely. Then there's an abstract, the acknowledgements, it's a required section, dedication, which is optional. Some of my most inspiring reading is the dedication pages. Yeah, please be fluid. It can be very important for your family and other people. The preface, it's optional in standard format. Table of contents, list of figures, list of tables. You can have lists of other things. Chemistry majors have lists of schemes. You can have list of abbreviations, whatever you think of, just put it in here. And there's no specific order. The main text. Yeah, text, list of references, appendices, if you want. In standard format, you're required to have a bibliography last. That has to be the last item. Let me see, in one approval page, it appears in two places, two forms. The online version is the type names of the committee and the dean. Digitally signed form will be forwarded to me. Actually, I'll look at it in a file folder. The abstract, we shall know what an abstract is by now, describes the problem, methods used to solve it, and the summary of the findings. Acknowledgements, you are required to mention your major professor. This is their work product. It's part of their job, and they should be mentioned in it. Bibliography should be the last item. Physical specifications, at least 10 points. We recommend 12. One font throughout, except for special cases, scientific notations, figures, graphs, charts, captions. Double spaced, except for, let me see, long quotations and footnotes. This happens a lot. References in bibliography entries may be single spaced, but you have to skip a space in between each entry. Major sections begin on a new page. I hope we all know how to do a hard page skip. You hit on a PC, you hit Control Enter, and that will start a new page wherever you are. Some people just hit enter until a new page pops up, and that's wrong. That leads to problems. And I'm not sure how you do it on a Mac. That came up recently. Margins, 1.5 on the left and 1 inch on the other 3 sides. Page numbering, preliminary pages, they're in lowercase Roman. The abstract and title page are counted but not numbered. The abstract, first page of the abstract will always be page II in the table of contents. The first numbered page will be the first acknowledgements page. The main text is in Arabic, numbers continuous from first page to the last, and begin with number 1. Some people just continue the page numbers from the preliminary pages. Let me see, page numbers for preliminary pages, it has to be at the bottom center. For the main text, it can be at the bottom center or the upper right corner, and no dashes around the page numbers. Yeah, with modern word processing, this never happens. Let me see. Yeah, the manuscript font. Yeah, manuscript format. Basically, you've got a free ride. Just stay within the margins. I don't check anything. And also, part of the deep dark secret is I actually don't check very much outside of the preliminary pages and a few things in the body of the work. If you're interested in someone checking to see if you have APA or IEEE format, you're going to have to go somewhere else. I don't do that. If it's okay with your committee and it fits in the margins, I'm okay. And if you do go to publish it, your editor at the journal will make sure it's jammed into IEEE or APA format, whatever you want. Each chapter may have its own manuscript, may have its own abstract and reference section. It's like a mini document, mini thesis. Page number follows standard format. Only one page number per page. This comes up every now and then. One of the problems is you'll have a page number in the way it was published, however that was, and then you have another page number at the bottom, and you have to get rid of the publisher's page number. Okay, proper landscape pagination. This is another horrible word processing task. To do proper landscape pagination, you have to insert section breaks rather, before and after the landscape page. Then you will be allowed to change the pagination in that new section. As you can see, it belongs over here. By default, it will place the page numbers down at the bottom center, which is the wrong place. As you see, when it's published, it should look like that. You don't want the page numbers up on the upper right, or the right side. To get them there, you have to put the page number on the left side, left center, and then rotate it 90 degrees. The easiest way to deal with this situation is to either not use landscape pages or to try to rotate the table or figure 90 degrees, so it's kind of synthetic landscape page. And manuscript introduction page. A page like this should go in front of every manuscript. This is one of the first ones. It's really nice. It has all the authors, identify all their affiliations. And the important part is the thing is submitted to Journal of Petroleum Science and Engineering. I want to see a journal that it's formatted for. Okay, here's the template. I just want to make the point, you're going to have to replace a lot of stuff in the template. The title page. Every now and then I get this, Master of your degree. It's supposed to be Master of Science or Master of Arts. Someone filled it all out very nicely and forgot to, their name belongs on it. But just be aware that the template you have to make a lot of changes on the template. There's the abstract. There's like an invisible Roman numeral 2 here at the bottom of the first page of the abstract, and an invisible number 3 here. There's a real 4 there. Okay, the bottom of the acknowledgements page. And then the pages are off and running. You have a preface, table of contents. Make sure the number of the page of the table of contents matches the actual page. Okay, and it continues, list of tables, list of figures. Okay, here you go. Then it goes to page 1 for the first page of the body of the work. And so it goes. And here's some more online resources. This is the same list as in the other presentation. The graduate school there and the other things. Okay, any questions? I want to warn you, I'm kind of hard of hearing. Either speak slowly or maybe contact me in chat or email. Any questions? No? Okay. Well, thanks everyone for showing up, and thank Eric and Anne Marie. And have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
And stuff rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Reach out if you need anything.